This is the frustration, Mr. Chair. Salamat po.
Mr. Chair?
Senator, Mr. Balbuena, you want to interject?
Ba't ka aalis kung frustrated ka? Wala kang sagot na nakuha. Ha? Bakit ayaw? Kanina pang ilang oras na tayo dito, wala pa rin
Mr.
sagot.
Chair.
Because what will happen is that the seller declares force majeure, citing the reason that they're no longer able to supply because of the export ban declared by the government.
To go around that, the government negotiation can come in.
Correct, because some countries put in a list to say, okay, we do an export ban, but we're willing to consider exceptions to certain countries
Okay.
if the cargo is going to certain countries.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask DOE, can you list down to us, ano na ba yung mga government-to-government negotiations? Kasi based on our first hearing, I think the companies, the private oil companies have already exhausted everything that they can. No? So kaya tayo papasok ngayon sa government intervention. Pakilatag nga sa amin, one by one, kung ano ba yung mga government negotiations na ginagawa natin.
So, naghatian kami ng work and yung sa supply side na kay Yusek Sales, and also the secretary also assigned PNOC and PNOC EC to specifically source it. Ngayon po, they can provide the details kasi some of them are still under negotiations, but every time I get somebody that can say that they have something from Kazakhstan, they have something from Russia, they have something from Japan, binabato ko lang po dun sa group nila.
So sino
we
ngayon
have-
ang head of
Yeah,
the
si Yusek
government-to-government negotiations?
Yusek Sales and the secretary with PNOC EC. And
PNOC is here. Can PNOC answer that? Gusto namin malaman ngayon, ano na yung naka-line up? No? At sino ang in charge for government? Kung sinasabi kasi ng private sector, gobyerno na lang ang pag-asa natin, sino ngayon ang gumagawa ng hakbang? At mayroon na bang nakalatag?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. So far, the PNOC is coordinating with the Indian government. That is the most advanced India government in India. That's I think the most advanced negotiation that being conducted. And I think this morning they are talking with the U.S. Embassy regarding the possible supply of POS, Mr. Chair.
Dalawa lang?
There are other countries that being looked into, but I don't think the negotiations are.
Don't we need to negotiate with everyone who has, sabi nga, strategic petroleum reserves as of this point?
Yes, we are looking into that, Mr. Chair.
Pero dalawa pa lang kausap nyo.
In the meantime, sir, only two.
Can, si Yusek Sales is not here, no? Can before the committee ends, please submit, before the hearing ends, submit to the committee kung ano yung mga nini-negotiate na ng DOE. Because we want to be assured na merong negotiation. Baka, these are just lip service or we want to be assured. Yun ang aking punto.
Mr. Chair, we've been constantly sending endorsements to the embassies of the supplier countries, and the natural tendency that we've observed is that these embassies still endorses to the private sectors, the suppliers in their country. So what were closed by PNOC is in fact through the Japan engagement, but the actual supplier was a private supplier. Now, what they did is it's easy to facilitate if, like, you use Vitol, Trifigura, but in any case, if there's an issue, we always go to the embassy to seek.
But to date, after
facilitation.
26 days, meron na bang successful
Yes,
G2G
yes,
negotiation?
Mr.
What are those?
2 contracts, around 22 million liters of diesel. Soon to arrive, March, this Saturday.
22 million liters will last us how many days?
If no supply at all, that will just be around 1 day supply.
22 million liters.
Opo.
It's
Mga-
only one, correct.
Yeah,
It's only
yeah.
1 day. No? So,
Yes, but if it's
nag-extend mo
totally
yung
dry.
60 days to 61 days.
But Mr. Chair, it's around 132,000 barrels at $200 per barrel.
So, ano yung mga na-successful negotiation?
But ito yung confirmed.
This is itong from
Yeah.
Japan. This is from Japan?
Yeah, but I think PNOC has not stopped. So mas maganda siguro, Mr.
And
Chair,
then
that
kanina
they can
nasabi ni
submit.
Mr. Nepomuceno from Russia. I think I heard that that's also
Yes, so there's now a
G2G.
notification to us from Petron, and that's around 700, more or less
And then that's also
755,000
G2G
barrels. This one, they tried to approach us, but it appears that they were able to get the supply directly. Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make, Director Rino, kasi sinasabi na ng private sector, kailangan namin ng tulong.
Yeah.
No? So hinahanap ko anong tulong ang ginagawa ng DOE at PNOC.
Yeah.
Yun ang aking punto.
Yeah.
No? Kaya parang wala akong nakikitang nakalatag na gagawin ng gobyerno para magkaroon tayo ng additional supply. No? Lahat ito mga plano pa lang, nag-send out tayo ng letters. I want to see firm negotiations or advanced negotiations.
Mr. Chair, what we've done in the past 2 weeks until this week is to tabulate all the different types of contract status. For example, there is those with issues, a few of them, and those with contracted without issues, lots of them now. So, and then for contracting, and today we have the second endorsement was given to the embassies.
So if you compute all of those you mentioned, how many additional supply are we going to get with all of those G2G negotiations?
For contracted without issues, for example, on May, around May deliveries, we have diesel supply of an additional 23 days without issues. Without
additional.
issues. Opo.
So
New entry.
firm na ito. Firm na ito. Additional
for now,
to.
these are considered without issues as reported by
Yes.
the oil companies. Without issues.
No,
So,
this is G2G. This is their G2G
hindi
negotiations.
po. Diretso po yan sa mga suppliers, private suppliers. Back up lang ho ang DOE kasi yung pinapatutukan ni Secretary is any of those that be transferred to the with issues, inuuna kaagad sa mga embassies. So, may summary ho kami palagi and very few of them ang may issues.
But itong sinasabi yung without issues are contracted by the oil companies.
Oh, of course. Bulk of them are contracted by the
Yes.
private
Yun,
sector. pa rin.
ang gusto ko, contracted or negotiated by government.
Okay.
Kasi yun ang sinasabi
Yeah.
nila eh.
Yeah.
No, na kailangan namin ng tulong. Ang gusto kong malaman, anong tulong ang ginagawa ng gobyerno? Yun ang gusto kong malaman.
Mr. Chair, sino ba ang lead? DOE,
Si- DOE.
PNOC? Yes. So,
Di-
maybe, kasi it's been minutes, no?
Yeah.
Several minutes, pinoprobe kayo ng chair. Simple. What G2G ongoing negotiations or contracted service supply has the DOE, PNOC generated, and where are you in the status of talks? Yun
Kasi ang dulo nito, madam, what I'm trying to make is, magkano ba ang na-secure ng gobyerno
Yes.
through a G2G
Yes.
arrangement? Because if the private sector is saying that, di na namin kaya,
Yes.
kailangan namin ng tulong ng gobyerno, ano na ang nagawa ng gobyerno?
Yes.
Para meron kami, as consumers, constituents, kampante kami na merong naka-line up na ginawa ng gobyerno. That is the point I'm trying to make. Pero I'm getting very vague answers.
Kung vague yung answers po nyo, paki-clarify. And we're asking now the DOE and PNOC. Pakisagot po, on your level, kung anong alam nyo na G2G negotiations and firm contracts and dates of delivery. and volume? Thank you.
For the G2G negotiations, there is none finalized yet. But for the transaction with the private sector, the PNOC EC has already ordered at least one batch for this. I think it will come this week or next week.
Sagutin po muna sana yung sa chair. Government to government, nababasa rin naman sa balita, sinasabi daw ng crisis committee, maraming ahensya ng gobyerno, no, sa press release, no? Press release. Gaya ng sinabi namin nung unang hearing, ayaw namin makakita lang ng curated PowerPoints or press release. Humiling na po ng tulong ang pribadong sektor. Nandito po ang DOE at ang PNOC at lahat ng ahensya represented. Meron na ba hong nagaganap na pag-uusap na government to government? Ano yung status po ng pag-uusap? Ano ang firm contracts na kung meron at kung wala pa, nasaan estado na po ang pag-uusap? May we hear from DOE and from PNOC. Thank you.
For the DOE, the strategy is for us to help the private companies, considering that if they need representation from the Philippine government, that's where we come in. So parang we back them up. So minsan they experience something that there's an export ban, as mentioned, then we come in and make representations. The reason also is on the practical end, the government does not have the storage facilities on their own. So if we're able to get something as well, we will utilize the partnership with the private sector for that aspect also.
Okay naman yun. And we appreciate DOE for taking a proactive stance so that we won't belabor this topic. Wala si Sexales, but before the hearing ends, submit to this committee kung ano yung mga naka-line up na G2G negotiations, whether G to private negotiation to help them, but all initiated by government. Because the message I'm getting from our oil companies, kailangan nila ng tulong. And this is where relationship will come in. Yun ang aking punto, no, to assure supply. Alright? So, para hindi tayo paikot-ikot. And ang message ko sa DOE and PNOC, wag na kayo matulog. Wag na kayo matulog. Correct. Wag na kayo matulog. Kasi nasa inyo na, humingi sila ng tulong sa inyo eh. No? So, kailangan na talagang mag-double time tayo dito. Kasi kung sinasabi nga ng oil company, hirap kami, then it's up to government to move. No? But like I said, 60 days will fly by so fast. Kung hindi tayo magsisecure ngayon, pagdating ng panahon, problema tayong malaki.
Mr. Chair, we would like to discuss this again with the private sector because their report seems to be conflicting also what of their statement.
We won't discuss that here, no? Kayo nang,
Yes, we will be discussing that.
That's your job to discuss with them. No?
For
Kami, we're
example,
looking for solutions. No? To debate whatever they discuss with you is your job. And trabaho ng committee is look for solution and recommend. No? So, I'll leave that to you. All right? So, with that, we'll go to the second round. And by...
Yes.
Okay. Senator...
Salamat, Chair. Ako po ang pinakamahirap ang kalagayan dito eh. Hindi ko malaman paano ko makapagpa-participate kung ang pinag-uusapan ang laki-laki na ng problema. Ang sinasabi ko naman, merong recourse kasi kamukha nung ibinigay kong mga slides. Kung paniniwalaan po ninyo yung mga data na yun, wala tayong pinag-uusapan ngayon eh. Yun ang problema eh. Ang isa pong irony, Mr. Chair, yung binanggit ng aking kumare, yung replacement cost. Okay? So, gusto kong balikan yun. I want to belabor that kasi yung pong nakaraang hearing natin last Tuesday, maliwanag po na sabi ninyo, DOE, meron tayong 46 days for diesel at that time. Tuesday po ito. Sa kerosene naman, meron tayong 53 days. Ang pinag-uusapan natin doon, after 15 days, mula nung sabihin ng Pangulo na meron tayong 50 to 60 days inventory, biglang pumalo sa 110 pesos per liter. Ngayon, sabi nyo kanina, meron kayong monitoring function under RA 8479. Pwede rin yung gamitin yung EO 839. Meron kayong pwedeng gawin na mag-issue ng show cause order. Ano po yung una nyong ginawa? Tinignan nyo ba kung anong basis nung 110? Iyon po yung gusto kong balikan eh. O bigla na lang kayong naniwala, hindi kayo nag-validate. Dati po nilang inventaryo yun eh. Paano po magiging 110 from 55? So kung ginamit po ninyo yung tungkulin nyo under the law, like kayo nagmo-monitor, ini-screen ninyo lahat, did you ask them to present, for example, documents na to validate na kailangan 110 na per liter? Kinuha nyo ba yung mga dokumento sa kanila na bumili na ba on the replacement cost ang basis? Paano po nangyari yun? Inventaryo po ang pinag-uusapan natin. Wala pa naman eh. Ang problema kasi sa replacement cost kasi, Mr. Chair, kahit na wala pa yung ibibili nila sa susunod na kanilang pagbili, ay dapat nandun na yung cost na dinidictate nung Argus at saka nung MAPS. Yun ang problema eh. Ito pong replacement cost, Mr. Chair, konektado po doon sa sinasabi nating rackets and feathers irony. Ano po ibig sabihin nun? Ito pong rackets and feathers irony focuses on the asymmetry of pricing. Where prices shoot like rockets when the global prices rise, but they fall like feathers when they drop. Ganun po eh. Sino po yung tinatamaan, di ba? Yung taong bayan. Can you explain that? Paano po naging 110 nang hindi nyo man lang nababalidate? Oh.
Thank you very much. I mentioned to the director of the Oil Industry Management Bureau is to submit how the OIMB does its monitoring. But to answer it precisely, we can
Hindi
have...
po, after 2 weeks, naging 110. So did you confirm that? Did you validate that na talagang bumili sila at 110 pesos per liter? O ginamit pa lang nila yung kanilang inventory because at that time, meron pa silang 46 days for diesel and 53 days for gasoline.
Mr. Chair, because we always have the cyclic differential cost
May hirapan ka dyan
application.
pagka dyan ka tumira eh. Ganito sinasabi ko, meron pa silang inventaryo. You take note, 46 days pa. Last hearing ito eh. Ibig sabihin, andun pa yung binili nila sa dating
Correct.
presyo. Ngayon, after 2 weeks, bigla nilang sumirit. Sabi nga nila.
Yeah.
110. Na ngayon, nag-a-average na ng 126. Paano nyo minonitor? Paano nyo binalidate na totoo yun? Samantalang ang ginagamit pa nila ay inventaryo pa nila na binili doon sa dating presyo.
Mr. Chair, because basically it's like saying that the diesel we consume is around 33 million liters per day. So mga 7 days po yan. At pag yan ho ang nabenta, they always, the industry always...
After 2 weeks ba, naubos na yung kagad ng inventaryo? 45...
Yung dumadating pagka next week,
Hindi, teka mo, ang puntahan muna natin yung inventaryo nila. After 2 weeks ba naubos ang inventaryo? Is that the assumption of DOE?
no, it's around
Yun pala,
7 days.
saan binasa yung 110? That is the question.
So, Mr. Chair, because they have to replenish again the 7 days.
Yusek, hindi ka director. After 2 weeks, nandun pa yung inventaryo. Yes. Okay. Pero after 2 weeks, 110 na nga ang ginamit eh. So, inventaryo pa rin ang ginamit. How did you justify that?
Because, Mr. Chair, yung binenta kasi na yun will have to be replaced right after next week. So, kinolekta ho yung amount.
So, ang nangyari, ang nag-finance ang taong bayan. Hindi, sabihin mo, hindi yung...
That's the way.
Ulitin mo, yung sinabi mo.
So,
Hindi, ulitin mo yung sinabi mo.
yes, it's really
Hindi, yung exactly.
it's passed on to
Oh, yan na nga eh.
consumers.
Paano yung mga shareholders nila? Hindi sila gumagalaw? Ang taong bayan ang nagkakapitalize sa atin? Nandun pa yung inventaryo eh. Ito yung problema. Ngayon, hindi nyo ginagamit yung sinasabi ng batas na in periods of emergency, kayo ang gagawa ng paraan eh. As a matter of fact, pwede nyo i-take over eh. Hindi naman yun ang sinasuggest ng committee ito eh. We're all finding solutions to this. Pero itong mga questions nito, kasimple lang, hindi nyo man kayang sagutin. Mr. Chair, we would like to clarify that we are not here to dispute the business models of our oil companies. As a matter of fact, we are thankful for their sacrifices for this country. Kaya lang, it would appear that the business models are no longer responding to the crisis kung paniniwalaan natin yung binabanggit ninyong problema ang kinakarap natin. But until and unless we are able to validate yung data na pinresent ko kanina, we're almost 4 hours now since 10 o'clock in the morning, pwede nga yung vessel to tank eh. Gamitin nyo siguro Panamax vessel. Ang ano niyan siguro is about 100,000 metric tons per container. Wala man nagbabalidate po, Mr. Chair. Para sana uwi na lang ako. If you prove me wrong, halimbawa, mali yung nakuha kong information, so magsosorry na lang ako, Mr. Chair. Pwede naman ako mag-sorry kung mali eh. And then hahabulin ko na lang yung tao ko, yung kaibigan ko na nagsabi sa akin ng gano'n. Bakit mo sinabi ito? Mali pala. Kasi gusto ko lang makatulong talaga eh. I wanted to be wrong kung mali talaga. But you have to prove me wrong. Government to government, hindi nga dapat mangyari yung pumunta nga. Andun nga yung tangke, yung mga tangke ng 2 refineries. Rotterdam refineries produces, I think, 1.2 billion barrels, per day. At nandun ang kanilang tangke sa Singapore. Petronas also, andun ang tangke nila. Ayun po yung kanilang presyo. No, nobody is reacting to this. Pinag-uusapan natin yung problema at ang mga measures na gagawin natin without even going back and checking whether those data are valid or not. So, paano yung replacement cost? I already told you, kung papayagan natin yon after 3 weeks or after 2 weeks, 3 billion pesos per day. Did you check this? You say?
Okay.
No, did you check that is 3 billion pesos per day ang income? Pireset ko kanina.
But the collection this week was also used to purchase the level, even higher level of products.
Kinuha mo na kagad kasi dapat sana there should be a point where the replacement cost should begin. Saan ba magsisimula? The inventory should end where the replacement cost should begin. Ang nangyayari, ito nga, binil nyo na kagad ang taong bayan, 110 kagad, 2 weeks, nandun pa ang binenta ninyo, sarili nyong inventaryo. So, it is the public, it is the poor public. Ayan si Mr. Boss, ano ang pangalan mo? Si Mr. Balbuena kanina pa naglulupasay. So,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, we're not saying that that is right in the business the way it's
but
now
you are not
deregulated.
answering my question, Director. Sagutin mo muna eh. Is the 3 billion pesos per day? 1 month lang ito eh. So per day ito, 3 billion.
Yes, Mr. Chair. If the perspective, because it's a matter of perspective, if the perspective is to ensure that the 7 days used up this week will be replaced by next week immediately, then the oil company has to collect that level of collection to be able to purchase the 7 days replacement. So we can always go back to the 45 to 50 days supply. But if the perspective, again, if the perspective is you want to use up the 53 before you replace it, and that is very dangerous, then I think we can exhaust the 53 at that lower price. But the problem is if they're gone and the collection is very low, you can no longer replace the 53 days. So it's really, that's how they're explaining also on Caltex was also explaining that in the same way.
No, but
we're not saying-
you're proceeding from the wrong premise. Ang sinasabi ko mula't mula pa, ang pinag-uusapan ninyo yung maps and indicators coming from the Argus. Okay? Yun ang basis ng replacement cost. Okay? Ito yung spot market ninyo, itong trading floor ninyo. Ang sinasabi ko, after 2 weeks pa lang, and considering na meron pa kayong 46 days and 53 days for diesel and gasoline respectively, kumulekta na ng 3 billion, kumita na ng 3 billion pesos per day, which was bankrolled by the people themselves. This is the irony. Ngayon, ano yung role ninyo in the period of emergency and national interest is involved already? Ba't ang pinag-uusapan pa natin replacement cost na kagad? Ito muna ang sagutin ninyo. Is it reasonable? Is this reasonable? In 2 weeks' time?
Mr. Chair, again, it's a matter of perspective. When the law says that we may direct the operation, we have to be mindful of again, on price, we have to be mindful of allowing the oil company to be able to replace it on a weekly basis.
Okay. Isara natin ang argumento. Did you check the oil companies? Kinuha nyo yung document? Kanino nila binili? Makikita nyo ba kung magkano binili? Did you check that? Have you done that?
Not in that
Paano mo sasabihin ngayon? Katungkulan nyo ngayon, if you are screening, if you are monitoring, okay, sabihin na natin replacement cost. Ali kayo mga kaibigan. Pwede nyo bandalin yung inyong mga ICPO. Tingnan natin kung saan nyo binili. Binili natin kay ganito, ito po yung presyo. Ganito. At least chinek natin. Now I am asking you, nag-check, sabi nyo hindi. So ano yung monitoring? This is the frustration, Mr. Chair. Salamat po.
Mr. Chair.
Senator, Mr. Balbuena, you want to interject?
Ba't ka aalis kung frustrated ka? Wala kang sagot na nakuha. Ha? Bakit ayaw? Kanina pang ilang oras na tayo dito, wala pa rin
Mr.
sagot.
Chair.
So go ahead.
Opo, malinaw dun sa na inventaryo pa lang nila yung itinaas nila ayon dun sa pag-uusap po. Ibig sabihin, overprice yung 2 hanggang 3 linggo na ibinenta sa aming fuel. I-refund nila yung 100 to 120% na itinaas dito kung inventaryo pa yung ibinebenta.
Up with the permission ni Senator Lawrence, since we're on this topic, kasali rin to sa mga list of questions. Also a slide, Alena, slide 108. And we've been looking at the behavior ng presyo ng MAPS at presyo natin sa domestic. At makikita natin sa gasolina, pag tumataas ang MAPS, kaagad taas ang gasolina. Walang lag. Pag tumaas, next slide, ang MAPS sa diesel, kaagad tataas ang presyo ng domestic sa diesel. Wala ring lag. And ito very technical to, but we ask our economists to look at it. Slide 110. Yung changes, talagang yung changes ng MAPS at changes ng local gasoline talagang mimics each other. Konti lang yung diferensya niya, but in terms of timing, halos parehong-pareho. Next, sa diesel, ganyan rin. Parehong-pareho rin yung timing. I don't buy the replacement cost argument. Dahil at the end of the spectrum, yung pinakadulo nito, yung mga drivers natin, hindi naman sila nagre-replacement cost eh. Hindi nga tumataas yung kanilang pasahe. Why do we allow, and I'm not accusing of any uncompetitive behavior, I'm not accusing of anyone of profiteering, I'm just saying we allow the oil companies, the retailers, to price their oil on a replacement cost basis. Pero sa mga dulong pinakadulo, hindi sila pwede magtaas ng pamasahe. Ipit sila. Yung nag-import tsaka yung nag-deal, yung dealers, pwede silang magtaas ng presyo pero yung nasa dulo hindi. So I don't buy that eh. And sa mga ganitong crisis, alam nito ng maraming traders, sa mga ganitong crisis, ang mga traders, tiba-tiba yan. Sigurado ako. Kasi nga, ang binili nila mas mura, kakataas lang ng presyo sa abroad, taas na rin ang presyo dito. No? Yung argument mo kasi, Director Rino, assumes na wala silang kapital. Kung ano yung binili nila, yun rin ang gagamitin nilang pang-kapital. Hindi nangyayari yan sa negosyo. Normally, meron kang bank loans para bumili ka ng next shipment mo. So my point of the matter here is, again, I'm not accusing anyone of profiteering. I'm not accusing anyone of hoarding. Pero kailangan ma-assure natin ang publiko na walang pang-aabusong nangyayari. Walang nagsasamantala nitong sitwasyon. Sana wala. No? Sana walang nagsasamantala nitong sitwasyon. Pero ako, I guarantee you, after this exercise, may windfall profits. Whether trader sa abroad, trader dito, oil companies, mayroon niyang windfall profits. And that's the sign na meron talagang nag-take advantage o nagsamantala nitong sitwasyon na ito. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, andito kasi ang invited PCC. Nasaan ang PCC? No?
Good
Sa mga
afternoon,
ganitong
Mr. Chair.
situation, this is an abnormal situation.
Yes,
And we
Mr.
just want to make sure na hindi inaabuso ng ibang mga, again, hindi ko linalahat ha, hindi inaabuso ng mga enterprises itong abnormal situation. Are you monitoring this situation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Currently, we are conducting market monitoring, but we note that we have limited visibility on the data, and we are hoping to receive disaggregated data, particularly on gas station level data, so that we can also map out if there is
But not only gas station, but you have to go upstream.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Diba?
We have already previously sent a letter request for information from the DOE, but we are hoping to coordinate also with the DOE, Mr. Chair.
Ang
receive
problem
our
kasi,
monitoring.
Director Rinos, wala kayong visibility on the purchase price. Tama? Use the mic.
Mr. Chair, if you look at the law, because this is the very big elephant in the room, our Section 14A says that DOE shall monitor, publish daily international crude oil prices. We're doing that now with maps. As well as follow the movements of oil prices. We're doing that with the gasoline station. Yeah.
No, but-
So
We're not only monitoring the prices, but monitoring abuses, possible abuses, and monitoring possible profiteering.
we're doing that extra effort, Mr. Chair. That's why Yusek Quimpi has been saying that despite this limitation,
Yeah, pero paano nyo malalaman kung hindi nyo alam purchase price?
So-
And you just take replacement cost as the
so what we do,
as the accounting computation.
Again, at the very limitations of the law, we are forced to do it on the ground. Kasi yun ang mayroon kaming follow the movements. Doon ang requirement na pwede kaming mag-monitor sa pump price. And we're doing that.
Kasi ako, napanood ko yung interview ng, I think si Mr. Baluena, hindi mo naman kailangan maging ekonomista o kasing galing ni Mr. Sunny Africa. Talagang, bakit kagbibili lang ng oil companies, katataas lang ng presyo kaninang hapon, bukas iba na yung presyo. You don't need to be an economist to do that. Lumang presyo yung binili nila eh. My point of matter here is, under ito i-remind ko lang, under the excise tax law suspension, binigyan namin ng kapangyarihan ang DOE para tignan yung mga presyo. Use that power and submit to us an analysis whether enterprises are abusing the situation. Kasi base sa aking nakikitang pag-aanalisa, meron at meron talagang magte-take advantage ng situation. At itong mga ganitong crisis, dito talaga kumikita maraming mga traders. Once in a blue moon lang to nangyayari. No? Once in a lifetime lang pwede silang kumita ng tiba-tiba eh. Bakit hindi nagagawin? Pero kawawa naman tayo. No? That is my point. So again, I don't want to belabor the kasi alam ko rin yung sagot ninyo, but I'm telling you that we have now included at hindi na veto ng presidente, no? The power to DOE to look at all the pricing mechanisms, all the pricing components of oil, at least during this time of crisis. Kasi kailangan natin masabi sa taong bayan with a straight face na walang pang-aabusong nangyayari. Yun naman gusto natin mangyari. No? So binibigyan na namin kayo ng kapangyarihan na gawin yan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The Department of Energy, despite these limitations, will really go the extra mile. Give us the go signal, we'll do it. Now, I think you mentioned a very important matter. We have an oil deregulation law, yet the public utility vehicles, they are regulated. That's where that disconnect is. Doon po talaga hindi siya nagtutugma. Kasi meron tayong deregulated na pagpasok ng fuel, pero yung fare is regulated. So hindi po talaga siya automatic na dapat magkaroon ng automatic mechanism as well. Or we have both regulated. So it's up for us to determine which is the best on the way forward.
Senator Lauren, you're... Yeah.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask the different agencies about the Executive Order 110. First, DOE and DepDev. The EO established the Uplift Committee. No? I noticed parang hindi kasama ang NSC or ang DND. Kasama ba? Hindi sa Uplift Committee. Sa Uplift. Wala. Dapat kasama. Unless I'm wrong, wala kayo. Dapat nandun kayo. Lahat ng pinag-uusapan natin is a national security issue. It's our economic security. Yung problema sa Iran at sa Estados Unidos ay seguridad ng ating mundo. So it's a glaring omission for me not to include the DND. Of course, that's not for the DOE to answer. I just want to put that on the record, Mr. Chair. Pangalawa, pakisagot ng DND, ng DepDev at ng DOE. The EO establishes the Uplift. At inamin nyo na wala pang meeting ang Crisis Committee sa Holy Week sa Tuesday. February 28 yung gera, isang buwan na mag-meeting next week. We see that the framework is not a visible, viable operating plan. It does not show the actual 7-day scenario, 30 days, 60 days, sequencing, targets. So in a fast-moving external shock, the issue is not just structure. Kasi palagi natin pinapakita in your first meeting and even now, that's why we're expressing frustration, yung execution. Gaya nung sinabi ng chair, yung G2G. Tas ang sagot nyo, okay, government, tas private sector, patingin ng plano. Tas sabi nyo, sasubmit nyo pagkatapos. Ang gusto namin, maipakita natin sa taong bayan na ito yung problema at isang buwan na ito, ano ang 7-day scenario execution, 30 days, 60 days. Mr. Chair, may nakita na ba tayong ganun? Kaya naghuhulaan kami. So pakisagot po kung sino man representante dito ng DepDev at ng DOE. So patingin, sagutin po nyo yung visible operating plan ayon sa EO 110, ayon sa uplift? Pakisagot. Hindi po motherhood. Then I'll go to the other points. DepDev and DOE, please. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Or I can't see your name, sir. Yusek mo kayo?
Asik Ray Cancio po.
ASEC.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
thank you.
So the EO was issued on Tuesday, I think, evening. Immediately yesterday, we reached out to the Office of the President, since the President is the chair of the committee, to organize, to set up the first meeting. As I mentioned, the idea is to convene the meeting, the committee this week or early next week. So we're just confirming with the OP when the president will be available to do that. We fully agree, Mr. Chair, with the points that were raised about the need for coherence in our strategy, to having a unified strategy. And that's the whole point of the EO and the committee. And this is what's going to be discussed by the committee. And we will be happy to report back to you once the committee has met, Madam Chair.
Thank you for agreeing that there must be a 7-day scenario, but 7 days starting from when? It's been 30 days. 30 days and 60 days, taking into consideration not just the cost, but also the supply of fuel. Which brings me, thank you, ASEC, to the DOE. So nakikita po natin, itong EO, may otoridad na binibigay. So that's good. It's strong on the authority given on emergency, although Senator Bam Aquino, and I agree, has stated that it is not enough to have an energy emergency, but should be a national emergency. But up to now, it does not spell out where the replacement fuel will come from, in what volumes, what timeline, what price, if this 30-day-old disruption continues, and it will. Kaya DOE, pakisagot po, nasaan yan? Yun ang hinihiling namin po para ma-assuage yung pag-aatubili or anxiety ng taong bayan. Where? Thank you.
So I just received a message from Undersecretary Sales. There are ongoing talks with the ministry level with the countries of Brunei, Japan, India, and South Korea. There were also contacts with Malaysia, Canada, Argentina, Colombia, and the United States, as well as private companies referred from the U.S. Embassy.
Okay. Thank you for that, Yusek Fontabella. Tayo ang chair ng ASEAN. Narinig ko, meron tayong talks with Malaysia and Brunei. Okay. Tayo ang chair ng ASEAN. Anong estado na po? Ito ba'y naisip lang dahil may hearing ngayon si Chair Win, 223, nag-text yung Yusek nyo. Ganong katagal na po ang pag-uusap nito sa Brunei? Sabi po nyo, ministry level, very good. Sino pong departamento dito ang lead? Kayo ba ho? At parang ngayon lang nyo natuklasan ito, so ibig sabihin ba, makikipag-usap pa lang dahil may Protect Committee na kinonvene at may EO na pinirmahan 110 2 days ago, or nagaganap na ba ito? So we want specific, hindi yung press release. Kasi nga ang nangyayari, parang ang response natin sa krisis ay PowerPoint, press release, press con. Ayaw namin pong ganyan lang ang aming maiharap sa mga tao. So more details please. At ano yung status at impact sa tao? Anong volume? Anong timeline? Thank you.
Okay.
If it's not available, we understand, then say so.
Yes, ma'am. So the director has the data, yung exact na mga how many days, and ano yung breakdown po.
Siguro, yung ASEAN neighbors muna.
Okay.
Malaysia at Brunei. Sige, Paki.
Tuloy mo na. Singapore.
Taking into consideration that Abril na tayo next week, Sabi nyo, ang iba hanggang end of April lang, and supplies, yung iba naman, sabi ng May, sabi ng DOE hanggang mid-May. So, April na tayo next week. No, ano ba ngayon? Yeah. Next week, correct. So, for all intents and purposes, 1.5 months na lang. 1.5 months, take into consideration the negotiations and the delivery, And the delivery. Sabi mo na, 30 days na lang ang supply. Dapat, strictest conservative. End of the month tayo ngayon, at sinabi nyo, last week of April, sabi ng ibang private entities. Sige, 30 days na lang ang supply. Nabagit kayo ng 10 bansa. Ito ba'y naisip lang ngayon kasi merong pinatawag si Senator Gatchalian na hearing? Or nag-uusap na kayo ng ilang araw, linggo, dahil 1 buwan na yung krisis na yan? Pakisabi po. Thank you.
So, with your permission. Okay, on March 16, we had an ASEAN Energy Coordination on the level of the senior official for energy. So yung mga counterparts ko po, we met virtually to look into, number 1, the ASEAN key developments in addressing together the risks from the Middle East situation on regional energy security. This was the basis of this is also the report from the ASEAN Secretariat that the Ministers of Foreign Affairs had a statement on togetherness in addressing the matter. Then later, also in the same meeting, the ASEAN Center for Energy, or ACE, and ASEAN Council for Petroleum and Energy, or ASCOP, were directed to conduct the daily monitoring on their level, ASEAN Center for Energy, to conduct daily monitoring of oil, fuel, and LNG markets. Also, we have agreed that member states will coordinate to designated focal points to ensure real-time data sharing and faster decision-making.
Siguro po, i-focus nyo sa sinabi nyong Malaysia at Brunei. Anong status ng pag-uusap po ng ministerial level sa dalawang bansang yun sa ASEAN?
So we'll share the other details to the Secretariat, but the details also on that specific item can
Anong volume, anong timeline, anong commitment, and status of negotiations with Brunei and Malaysia? Aside from, I heard Japan, and you said Canada as well, pero yung ASEAN neighbors muna. Thank you.
Before you answer, let me acknowledge the presence of Senator Kiko Pangilinan.
So for the details, ma'am, Mr. Chair, Senior Brad, and Senator Legarda, Director Rina Abad.
Mr. Chair, in the week around March 16, the whole week of March 16 at that period, the Secretary scheduled meetings with the embassies. This is for the purpose of assisting the private sector procurement. So at that time, we have tabulated those contracts that are pending for deliveries. So on the second week, we've observed very few contracts that ended up with issues. And the reasons are, for example, in Singapore, congestion in load port. So for China, for example, Chinese suppliers were caught with the Strait of Hormuz. So understandably, these Middle East issues will not...
Gaya ng sinabi ng Chair, sorry sir, gaya ng sinabi ng Chair kanina, alam na natin yung problema, Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
Simple po yung tanong ko, sa lahat ng 10 countries na inyong binanggit, focus tayo sa dalawang ASEAN countries, ministerial level, sabi nyo may talk, sabi nyo March 16, ano na ang status ng talks, negotiations, ano ang committed volume, ano ang timeline.
Okay.
Simple lang po.
Clarific-
Remember, sinabi ng head ng agency nyo, run dry. Meron ng posibilidad that we will run dry. So, 30 days to go ha, run dry. O, sa 10 bansa, anong status ng talks?
Okay.
Thank you.
So clarification, ma'am, no? So we use the ASEAN framework to have this coordination on our own. Now, the specifics, yung minention ko po, that was what Yusek Sales and his team with PNOC and PNOC EC are doing. So, the approach is may embassy level and then merong referred sa private sector from the embassy level.
So these are beginning talks, exploratory, no commitments yet on the volume and timeline. Meron na po?
Mr. Chair,
Oo.
in the-
Kasi embassy, pag embassy, yung ambassador, yung consul general, yung DTI desk representative, or wala naman DOE representative sa mga embahada?
Mr.
O
Chair,
ano po?
because we have to understand the situation after
Yes, we understand the situation.
After
Do not lecture us in
Yeah.
understanding the situation. We know the problems. Yes.
I'm illustrating how did the Department of Energy reacted after February 2028. The week after, immediately on Monday, we conducted series of meetings with embassies to know the status of the supply, because the rumors in the reports that China, for example, Singapore, and I think Thailand has issued a statement that they will pause the exports. So what the Secretary did was to set a meeting with these embassies. Oh.
Just
With these embassies, Mr. Chair. So what we did is, right after the meetings of the Secretary, we tabulated all the submissions of the oil companies of the pending contracts with these suppliers. Almost all of them, like from China, Japan, South Korea, Brunei, Thailand, and we endorse it as directed with the DFA is to course through the Department of Foreign Affairs. And these were also endorsed to the...
Director, with all due respect, I was telling si Senator Lauren, ganitong crisis, dapat minister to minister na yan eh. Hindi na kayo dadaan pa sa embassy dito, DFA dito, DFA sa kanila. By the time maabot tayo, wala na, tapos na yung 60 days. Kung ako sa inyo, minister to minister na yan. In fact, head of state to head of state na dapat at this time eh.
Minister, the letter
If we
was...
go through the protocols, alam ko gagawin, kakausapin DFA, kakausapin yung DFA nila, di ba? DFA nyo,
Yes, but...
Tama si Chair. Emergency ngayon, krisis. At saka yung embassy, ang dami nilang inaasikaso rin, mga bumabalik, repatriate ng mga Pilipino. Ang daming concerns at limitado din ang tao nila. Tama siya. Minister to minister. Hindi dadaan sa yung protocol in normal times. Kaya hindi ko po sinasabi, hindi pa namin sinasabing mali po kayo. Salamat po. Pero maliban dyan, dapat department to department. Ay, naku. Hindi nyo kasalanan. Kasi yun yung level na ginawa nyo. We appreciate that. But sir, I support the chair in his statement. These are not normal times. 30 days. Galing sa inyo yung statement. We will run dry soon. Oh. Through DFA? Ang dami nilang ginagawa. Mga konsulado at embahada. Paano ba naman
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, PNOC has updates on the details on where they are as far as Brunei and Malaysia is
Ayan,
concerned.
sige. May konting good news sana ang PNOC attorney.
Actually, the first shipment of PNOC EC amounting to 142,000 barrels arrived last night. And there are another 2 batches of 300,000 barrels each that is being negotiated firmly already. Our negotiation with Brunei, unfortunately, Mr. Chair, is we were referred to the private companies that operating their oil fields, Mr. Chair. And as far as Malaysia is concerned, they already not inclined to export to the Philippines, Mr. Chair.
Yung sabi nyong dumating o parating, ilan po yun?
140,000 barrels.
Pero, 140,000 barrels.
Diesel, yes.
Kailan po yun?
According to last night.
Last night. Thank you for that. Naka-input na po yan sa ating 30 days na reserve eh. Ang tinatanong ko po, ano yung negotiations natin pagkatapos ng 30 at 45 days? Kasi ganyan ang ating planning, kumbaga wargaming. Di ba, sabi nga nyo, may possibility na mag-run dry. at alam natin yung ating inventaryo ng supply ngayon hanggang 30 days. Sagutin po niyo ako, yung sinabi niyong dumating kagabi, nakasama na yan sa inventaryo na gagamitin ng industriya ng 30 days. Eh hindi nga, hindi solusyon. Parang hindi tayo nakakaintindihan dito eh. Kasi ang tinatanong ko po, yung ating negotiation at firm contracts at commitments ng timeline at volume para po after the 30 o hanggang 40 days, dahil sabi nyo 1.5 months na lang, ano po, kung wala, di wala, para alam natin how to brace ourselves. Huwag nyo sasabihin yung meron na, nasa 30 days. Baka hindi kasi maliwanag yung pagtanong ko.
Madam,
Oo.
Mr. Chairperson, just a quick clarification. Ang consumption natin, daily consumption of fuel is how many barrels? Is it in barrels or is it in, what is the breakdown?
For gasoline, Mr. Chair, it's around 23.3 million liters per day. For diesel, it's around 32.5 million liters per day.
Yes, so you're saying what we have is up to 30 days of all of that.
What we have is for gasoline, we have, this is as of March 20, Mr. Secretary, every Friday we have
Okay.
the cutoff. So 53 days for gasoline, diesel is around 45 days. Now, Mr. Chair, if you look at the total storage capacity as of March 20, gasoline would have a spare of 4.5 days at that time.
In other words, puno.
Puno. The diesel was around 8.45 days.
Yes, but shouldn't you be computing, including in your computation, if we release them, and therefore, how much, wala bang ganun, na okay, 4.5 days lang ang available storage. Pero di ba, hindi nyo gagamitin yung gasolina?
Because we always
does it work?
monitor and the oil companies are always replenishing on a weekly basis also.
Exactly. Therefore, that 4.5 days, bababa yan. Di ba? At yung storage niya, aakyat.
Bababa on a daily basis kasi may nababawas, pero may dumadating, balik na naman.
So yun yung tinatanong, yung dumadating, kasama ba yun sa additional 30 days o hindi? Kasi sabi nyo, we could run out. So, how does that work? Bababa, aakyat. So
For this week, nagdatingan na yung confirmed, Mr. Chair. So, nababawasan kasi on a daily basis, pero may dumadating. And kaya lang, nung March 20, nung pre-project siya, yung in-country at that time was 36 days. May padating po na 8.43 this week. So, parang bawas, balik naman yung 8 days.
I think the question of Senator Legarda is, if it is now pegged at 30 days, what is your strategy to increase it? You cannot because you have no storage space, ganun ba?
Well, kung magta 30 days po, kasi we have, in total, we will, depende sa product, Mr. Chair. Kasi,
Yes.
well, 53 days for gasoline with a 4.5, it's around 58 days. A total po yan. Opo. So, 30 days minus 58 minus 30 days, that will be 28 days na bakante ho. But because constant to ang liquid, very liquid ang flow, nababawasan, bumabalik, nababawasan. So what we're really afraid of is to make sure na on a weekly basis, bumabalik ko talaga. Because we cannot stop the consumption. Palagi hong bumababa eh. So what we're really trying to monitor is to really help them sa private side na dapat itong mga nagkakaroon ng issues, dapat ma-address ka agad with the embassies. Well, now with the ministers directly. Embassies po ng mga suppliers kasi. But this time, okay, we go for the ministries of energies. But at the same time, mayroon hong government side which is now handled by PNOC.
I guess the question is, just one very quick follow-up question. So are you going to make this recommendation, minister to minister or head of state to head of state? Should not, di ba? Oo nga. What's, yes, no, maybe?
Definitely.
Okay. Well, maybe you should ask your secretary, but she's not here, no? Are we going? Is the DOE going to recommend that? I mean, you have to show, the public that we're on top of the situation and we're doing as, up to the government to government, head of state calls to be able to secure our oil and energy requirements.
If you want an assurance, I can assure you, Mr. Chair and the committee, the Secretary keeps on calling us and keeps on reminding us and keeps on policing us whether or not we are performing our jobs.